Hi, it's Rachel with Just In Case You, and today we're talking about just in case you want to lower your odds of being attacked. We've got Derwin Bradley here, who is both an author and a teacher of self-defense and has guarded royalty, dignitaries, and politicians throughout the world. And he's going to give us some pointers on how to keep ourselves safe. So parking garages are another prime venue for women to become a victim. So what are some tactics that you can use that could keep us from being a statistic?
First of all, we know that the Department of Justice have done studies that have shown most crimes that occur around buildings occur in the parking lot or in the parking garage. We also know that women are the #1 victims when it comes to those crimes. So the best thing you do, first of all, is pay attention. We call it eyes up. That means put the phone down. Put the phone down and pay attention.
Are you talking to me?
Put the phone down and pay attention. And if you do just that first thing is pay attention, look at the parking lot before you walk into it or get out of your vehicle or drive into the parking lot. Look at the parking garage before you walk into it. Listen for what's going on around you.
Listen as in hearing footsteps behind you?
Footsteps or sounds
scuffling.
Or anything. You know, conversations that are close to you or that may be hidden from you. Anything. You pay attention to.
Is it a good idea to have your keys out already?
If you have a defensive tool, spray, keys, taser, whatever you use, then yeah, it's good to have it out if you feel threatened.
What mistake, besides looking at the phone and just not being vigilant in general, are women making?
A lot of people just don't believe it will happen to them. Say it's always the other person. This won't happen to me. I mean, you have to be aware that it can happen to you at any given moment. It can happen to you.
And you said that some of the content out on the internet, kind of is more of a military background.
Well, there's a lot out there. You just have to be careful of who you listen to. Some of the people who give that advice, they don't operate in the real world, or they don't work in the real world, or they haven't tested their techniques on the streets, because what works in competition or in the dojo may not work in street combat.
And you brought up a good point before that most of those trainings could be when you're relying on a team, whereas unless you're tag team shopping, most of the time a woman's going to be alone when she's leaving the mall.
Right, and I was referring to sometimes when the military guys give advice about self-defense, a lot of times their training is geared towards combat in the field. And a lot of times you're not alone, you're with a team of other well-trained people. Out here, you're usually on your own, and you better be prepared to deal with that on your own. So you need good tactics that make sense out here for a lone person.
I know you've taught safety and security classes and self-defense classes for many years. What are some of the basic questions that you get from women, or where they're just like, in total awe, like, never thought of that?
A lot of times they'll say, well, how do I defend myself while I'm holding my child, or if I have my children with me? Or how do I load my child into a car or a vehicle safely while I'm shopping or whatever? And can I really take down a big guy?
And so what's your answer?
It's all possible. We had women on our teams in the military who were very capable of taking down the men. We have female police officers that do a pretty good job of taking down men out here, and women who defend themselves out here have done well in defending themselves against a man. It's absolutely possible.
So would you recommend flight or fight?
That's your choice. If you can run, run. If you can't, then you better be ready to fight.
So take a self-defense class would be a basic 101.
And take lessons. Don't just take a class. Train for about 6 months to a year to get a good basic understanding of self-defense.
So it's always a good idea to just get basics. You can take a class, you can search the web.
Yep.
And of course, these are some of my favorites. So phones, when you see people fiddling with their phones, would that be just like having flashing neon sign, like come attack me?
If you're on your phone, you're almost 90% distracted, maybe more. Depends on who you are, depends on the person. But you're almost completely focused on that phone. So you have no clue what's happening around you.
So unless I'm going to throw it at you as a weapon, put it in my purse, and just
Well,
be
you
done
know-
with it till I'm safely in my car.
There's what a lot of people like to do is use the phone for comfort. If they're in a scary area, they'll call somebody they know so they can have a friend there with them. What I tell them, if your spider senses are going off and you're nervous about something, and something's making you uneasy, I say put the phone down. Unless you have an earpiece that you can talk into, put that phone down and pay attention. And you need to have it available so you can dial 911 and have it preset. But if you get in trouble, the person on the other end will not be able to help you. So you
Good
need
point.
You need to hang up the phone and dial 911. You need to hang up the phone and dial 911. You need to hang up the phone and dial 911.
Good advice. Okay, last parting advice.
Okay, a lot of times people ask, well, how do I prepare myself for a violent attack? What you can do is do scenarios, even if you're working or at home. When you're out, you look at a person and says, how would I take this person down if I had to? And that's a lot of times that we do in police work is as soon as you get to the scene, you look at the person and you start assessing their capabilities. And then how would you subdue them if you had to? So when you put your mind through that scenario training, you can actually do better under combat conditions.
So let's say a guy has, 50, 100 pounds on me. What would I be thinking? I mean, I think of miscongeniality about the
Well, you
same,
think- you think about-
solar plex and stuff.
Well,
whatever.
yeah, you go for the soft targets naturally for any size person. Doesn't matter what size they are, but you look at them. You ask yourself, how would I take this person down if I had to? And your brain will give you an answer. So you look at the soft targets. You keep your distance. You cheat to win. That's our motto. We cheat to win. If you have a tool, use it. If you have a weapon, use it.
Because they will.
Because they will.
So put down that phone and become more vigilant. Stay safe, and until next time, just in case you.